the next point, we should ensure whatever we see is clear.
That means work is being done, we can see that it is in opposite direction.
Good day, listeners. You are welcome to yet another segment of our e-learning. I am by name Mr. Monday Bokoy. I will be taking you through mathematics under the topic coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry. And the subtopic is the coordinate of the midpoint and gradient of a line. The coordinate of the midpoint and gradient of a line. Now, the coordinate of the midpoint of a line joining point A, the coordinate as x1 and y1, and point B, the coordinate at s2 and y2, is given by the formula x1 plus s2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2, all in bracket, while that of the gradient of the line joining the same point A and B is given by letter M. M denotes gradient. So M is the increase in the y-axis divided by the increase in x-axis. So our gradient M is given by y2 minus y1 divided by s2 minus x1. And student to take note, x2 minus x1 must not be 0. s2 minus x1 must not be 0 because when the denominator of a fraction is 0, the fraction is undefined. Therefore, our s2 minus x1 must not be equal to 0. Now let's cite examples so that we'll be able to apply the formula to find the bisector of a line segment, which is popularly known as the midpoint of a line, and also the gradient, or sometimes we call it the slope. We can equally call it even tangent. Those that are in physics, we mostly call gradient tangent or slope. They mean the same thing. Now, example, question 1. We are expected to find the A, coordinate of the midpoint, and B, gradient of the line joining the point A, 3, 4, and point B, 1, 2. The question again, find the coordinate of the midpoint of the line joining the point A, 3, 4, and B, 1, 2. Solution. When you are given a question as a student, you need to determine all your variables. So from the question given, A is at the point 3, 4, and B is at the point 1, 2. In this case, our x1 is 3, our s2 is 1, while y1 is 4, and y2 is 2. x1 is 3, s2 is 1, y1 is 4, and y2 is 2. Hence, the coordinate of the midpoint of the line joining point A and B given by x1 plus s2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. We are going to substitute the variable accordingly. Our x1 is 3, so we have 3 plus our s2 is 1, we have 1. 3 plus 1, and then y1 is 4, and our y2 is 2. So 4 plus 2. If you simplify, 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 divided by 2, while 4 plus 2 is 6. So 6 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2, the result is 2, while 6 divided by 2, the result is 3. Therefore, the coordinate of the midpoint of the line joining A and B is 2, 3. Then B, we are equally expected to find the gradient or the slope or the tangent of line AB. Gradient is denoted by letter M. That is the symbol used for denoting the gradient of any line segment. It is the ratio of the increase in y-axis divided by the increase in the x-axis. So the y-axis, we have y2 minus y1 all over s2 minus x1. From the beginning, we've already identified who is x1, who is s2, who is y1, who is y2. You go ahead to substitute. Our y2 was 2, so we have 2, and our y1 is 4. So we have 2 minus 4 divided by s2, which is 1, minus s1, which is 3. When you simplify, you'll be having 2 minus 4 is minus 2, while 1 minus 3 is minus 2. The negative sign divides negative to give you positive, and 2 divided by 2, the result is 1. Hence, the gradient of the line joining point A and B is equals to 1. Now, example 2, we are equally expected to find the A coordinate of the midpoint of the line joining point P, which is minus 1, 3, and Q at the point 5, minus 4. And we are equally expected to find their gradient, the gradient of the line joining the 2 points P at minus 1, 3, and then Q, 5, minus 4. Now, solution, try to identify your variables. Who is x1? Our x1 is minus 1. Who is s2? Your s2 is 5. And then y1 is 3, while y2 is minus 4. So having known all the variables, you can now go ahead. Question A says we have to find the midpoint of the line joining point P and Q. The formula is given by x1 plus s2 over 2, while, y1 plus y2 over 2, all in bracket. Then when we substitute, we will have our x1 to be minus 1, so minus 1 plus x2, which is 5, divided by 2, and our y1 is 3 plus minus 4, because our y2 is minus 4, all divided by 2. Simplifying, minus 1 plus 5, the result is 4. Minus 1 plus 5, the result is 4. So we have 4 divided by 2. Well, plus minus is minus. Positive, negative is negative. So we have 3 plus minus 4 become 3 minus 4 divided by 2. So 4 divided by 2, the result is 2. While 3 minus 4 is minus 1. So it will be minus 1 over 2. Hence, the coordinate of the midpoint of the line joining point P and Q is 2, minus half. 2, minus half. Then B, we are yet to ascertain the gradient of point P and Q. You go ahead to derive the formula, you state the formula, you extract the formula, denoted by letter M, which is y2 minus y1 divided by s2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 divided by s2 minus x1. Substituting accordingly, we have minus 4, which is y2, minus 3, which is y1, all divided by s2 is 5, minus Then our x1 is minus 1. So we have 5 minus 1. So student, you should take note. The negative sign is already there, and then the x1 is equally negative. So don't be deceived by the negative sign already there in the formula and assume it takes the place of minus 1. No, the two signs must be indicated. Now by simplification, minus 4 minus 3 is minus 7, while 5 minus is plus. So 5 plus 1 gives you 6. So our gradient in this case will be minus 7 divided by 6. And we leave it as a mixed number. 6 and 7 is 1 time, remainder 1. So our gradient will be minus 1 whole number 1 over 6. M equals to minus 1 whole number 1 over 6. That is the gradient of the line joining point P and Q. Now, example 3, as we move further, we have if 3 is the distance between the point S, 4, 3 or 2, which is the coordinate of point X, 4, 2, and point T, 1, R. 1, R. R is an unknown. Find A, the value of R. Find A, the value of R. Then B, we have to find, after getting R, the coordinate of the midpoint of line ST. The coordinate of the midpoint of line ST. And finally C, we are expected to find the gradient of line ST. Find the gradient of line ST. We are expected to find the gradient of line ST. Now, solution, we have a task here, and the task is to first identify the value of R. And we cannot find R, we have to make a referral of the distance between 2 points. And the formula for the distance between 2 points in our previous lesson is given by the square root of increase in y plus increase in x. So xt is equals to the root of s2 minus x1 all bracket square plus y2 minus y1 all bracket square. Now from the question given, we have x1 as 4, we have s2 as 1, we have y1 as 2, and then y2 as r, which is the unknown, and we are expected to find it. But the good story is that line ST, the length is given as 3. So the length of line X to T is given as 3 units. Now, if you go to the formula, ST is given. We have point X2 and X1. We have point Y2 and Y1. We substitute. The only issue here is R is not given. So we need to substitute and then solve for the value of R. Therefore, 3, which is the length of ST, we replace by 3 equals to root of S2 is 4 minus X1 is 1. Everything square plus our Y2 is R minus Y1 is 2. So R minus 2 square. Now simplifying, we will have 3 equals to 4 minus 1 is 3. 4 minus 1 is 3. So what is 3 square? It will be 9. Then we equally have R minus 2 square. Now simplifying further, for us to remove the square root sign, we need to square both sides. If it is square, you take square root. If it is square root, you square both sides. So squaring both sides, so that anything you do to the left hand side, you must do the same to the right hand side. We now have 3 square 3 square equals to the square root of 3 square plus r minus 2 square, the square of root of 3 square plus r minus 2 square. Then simplifying 3 square is 3 times 3. And what is 3 times 3? The answer is 9. The result is 9 equals to 3 square is 9 plus r minus 2 square. The square root will cancel the square. The root sign will divide the square. So we will be left with 9 equals to 9 plus r minus 2. R minus 2 square. So collection of like terms. When we collect like terms, 9 minus 9 equals to r minus 2 square. 9 minus 9 equals to r minus 2 square. So 9 minus 9 is 0. 9 minus 9 is 0. Then 0 will be equals to r minus 2 square. Now how do we get rid of the square? We now take square root of both sides. Now taking square root of both sides, we have root of 0 equals to root of r minus 2 bracket square. Root of 0 equals to root of r minus 2 bracket square. The square root of 0 is 0 because 0 times 0 is 0, equivalent to r minus 2. The square root divides the square. The square root divides the square. So we will now collect like terms. 0 plus 2, negative 2, crossing equality sign become positive 2. So we have 0 plus 2 equals to r. Our r in this case is 2. Hence, our r, which is one of the coordinates of point T, is equal to 2 units. Now, since r has been determined, we can be able to solve question B. Since r equals to 2, therefore the coordinates of the points are as follows. We have x 4, 2, while t is 1, 2. T was 1, r. Now r has been determined as 2. We replace r by 2. So our t now is the coordinate 1, 2. Now x1 is 4, identifying the variable. S2 is 1. Y1 is 2. Y2 is 2. Hence the midpoint of the line joining x and t is x1 plus s2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2 is the formula for finding the bisector of a line segment. Now substituting their values accordingly, we have 4 plus 1 divided by 2, and then 2 plus 2 divided by 2. 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. So we have 5 divided by 2, 2 plus 2 is 4. We have 2 plus 2 is 4. Now simplifying 5 divided by 2, the result is 2.5. 2.5. So, 4 divided by 2 is 2. If you equally like, you can say 2.5, 2. But preferably, we leave it as a mixed number. So our coordinate of the line joining point x and t is 2.5, 2. Then C, we were equally requested to find the gradient of the line joining point X and T. We have to find the gradient of point X and T. M, which is the gradient, the symbol denoting the gradient, will be equivalent to y2 minus y1, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Mark you, x2 minus x1 must not be 0. x2 minus x1 must not be 0. Otherwise, it will make the fraction undefined. It will make the fraction undefined. So we now substitute our y2 is 2 minus 2 divided by 1 minus 4. 2 minus 2 divided by 1 minus 4. And then 2 minus 2 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0 divided by 1 minus 4 is minus 3. Student, to take note, we have earlier confined and informed you that the denominator must not be equal to 0. But there are cases you find the numerator to be 0. So in this case, 2 minus 2 is 0, which is the numerator, divided by minus 3. Therefore, our gradient is 0. Our gradient is 0. Since 0 divided by minus 3 is 0. That's our gradient. Now, for us to conclude the lesson, let's have a kind of review. You are to take note that the coordinate of the midpoint of any line segment is given by the formula S1 plus S2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2 divided by 2. And then the gradient, which is equally called slope, or you can equally call it tangent, is the ratio of the increase in y-axis divided by that of x-axis. So it will be y2 minus y1 over s2 minus x1. These are the values and the formulas that we have determined from the beginning. And the gradient is denoted by letter M. And your denominator must not be equal to 0. The denominator must not be equal to 0. Now, coming back to the assignment, before we conclude the lesson, I need to give an assignment which you have to practice applying the formulas as given to you accordingly. The assignment goes as follows. We are to find the A coordinate of the midpoint of the line joining the following pairs of points. We have to find the coordinate and also the gradient. Finding the coordinate of the midpoint and also the gradient or the line joining the following pairs of points. Point A, we have 3, 2, and B is at the point 7, 4. 3, 2, and B 7, 4. Well, point B, P, is question 2 minus 6, 8, and Q is at the point 2 minus 7. Question 3, we have M minus 2, 7, and N 2 minus 3. The question again, find the coordinates of the midpoint and also the gradient of the line joining the following pairs of points. Question 1. A is 3, 2, and B 7, 4. A 3, 2, and B 7, 4. Question 2. P minus 6, 8, and Q 2 minus 7. P is minus 6, 8, and Q 2 minus 7. While the last question, M is at the point minus 2, 7, and N is at the point 2, minus 3. Our textual materials we derive from 1, we have the New General Mathematics for Senior Secondary School, Book 3. New General Mathematics for Senior Secondary School, Book 3. Then we equally have question and answers, Q&A, WAEC. Question and answers, Q&A, WAEC. I remain Monday Bakwai. you can always contact me with this phone number 080-2525-9755. 2525-9755. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning, and God bless you.